What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here. Today I'm going to be doing an Xbox original video, a collection video. Sorry, the heat. The heat, my God! I've got to say I love the heat. I'm a big heat. I'm a sun worshipper, but you know it's getting a bit out of hand now. I mean, it's Britain, right? And I know this is going to sound, people won't understand this, but try and understand. If you're from America, Australia, or China, or wherever you're watching this from, Britain is the only country that gets a weather. Okay, we don't have climate, so we get to weather. We get different sorts of weather. Yet, in typical British fashion, we just get by and we don't have any resources to battle our weather. If it rains really bad, the streets just flood. If it snows really bad, everything comes to a standstill. When I say it snows bad, compared to you, like I'm talking about a foot of snow, that's it. All the trains stop, the buses stop, everyone's collecting tins of beans from the shop thinking it's apocalypse. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, as soon as the sun comes out, because we don't have air conditioning in our houses, you know, right now I've got all the windows blasting open, and it's still 27 degrees in my house. I am melting. But someone is going to say, it snows more in my country, it's hotter more in my country. I don't care, because I am suffering now. But as soon as I make this video, I'm off to sit in the sun and I'll worship it, and then I'll be pissed off when I'm trying to sleep tonight. But that's weather. Typical British man moaning about weather. And let's carry on with the video, the Xbox original collector's video. I'll be showing you the games that I've got, a little bit of a description, but this is more to show you the games because it's already at almost 2 minutes. It's a nice start, yeah. So let's begin. First game, Manhunt. This game is what, back in my day, everyone spoke about in a playground. You know, playground at school. Did you have a playground at secondary school? I don't know. But anyway, people spoke about it. People said, have you done this? Have you put a bag over someone's head? Daddy, 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 daddy. And everyone wanted to do it as a teenage kid. Well, most people did. It's by Rockstar. It's a great game, I'm sure, because everyone there knows everything about it. It doesn't come with instructions, which I'm slightly gutted about. But still, a very, very, very good game. Where can I put them? See, planning and preparation prevent piss poor something. The next game is a strange game. It's called Power Drome. It's a bit crap, but at the same time it's a bit good. It's quite addictive. It's got first person mode, and the way you control them is a bit, feels like kind of present day. Doesn't feel like 2002, 3, when did it come out? 2004, so it came out at the end of the life cycle. Its graphics are pretty good, but then it's just a very generic game. It's Argonauts Games, which I believe are a British company if I remember correctly. But it's still an alright game, and it's nice and, oh, but it's not complete, and you've seen another game in the collection. Damn. Right, next game is quite, actually seen this. I'm playing a game by these at the minute called Detroit, so you know what game I'm going to put up now, don't you? Fahrenheit, or I think it's Indigo Prophecy, and in the American region. And, yeah, believe it or not, you know, I've got it in my collection. I've never played it, and I really want to play it. Is this complete? Yes! Nice and complete. Well, it's got instruction manuals, but I'm not to get into pamphlets because it'll be a 6-hour video. Next is a game that my friend is playing right now. He's installing it. I'm playing it. He's playing Fable again, and I've got Fable here. It's still got to that bit. I mean, I saw that in a charity shop and I was like, Jesus, it looks like it's been opened once, played, and it's just been put in a cupboard safe, and then someone's taken it to charity. I mean, that's a great condition. I love those stickers. It's in really good nick, and it is nice and complete. One of my favourite RPGs. I'm hoping for a sequel to be announced or something. So, this game. It's a bit expensive for what it is, and when I say expensive, it's more than £5. It's closer to 10, if not a little bit more, I think. I'll just show you it. Star Wars Jedi Fighter. It says Jedi Starfighter, and a bit I played of it, I've got to say, it's pretty crap. But this is coming from someone who played Rogue Squadron on the GameCube. I mean, a lot of power the Xbox has got, and I know it's not an exclusive, but still, play Rogue Squadron and then you play this, which I did. You're spoiled. It's somewhere that I've been playing it. It'll be in one of these boxes. But yeah, it's pretty crap, but it's good to have in a collection just to compare, because it shows you how good Rogue Squadron was back then. Right, this game I proper loved. Proper loved. Full Spectrum Warrior. When this came out, I felt at that point in time I was joining the military myself, well, going to, and I played this and I felt like it was a bit of training for me. Play it now, it's just a strategic kind of army game. They said that US Army use a version of this for training. So yeah, it was pretty cool to play. It's complete. And something I like about this, it shows you is an internet thing. And where is it? 15 megabytes of web space. Where does it show you the speed? Combined a modem and router. Does it show you speed? It's BT and a Yahoo. I think it doesn't show you speed, but it's £30 a month. 15 megabytes web space. I'm not sure what that means. Just say it in the comments. Just let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know. But yes, it's complete, fully complete. Next is a game that I just sold for 50p, and it just needs replacing at some point, because I'm not sure if this came in a black box. But it's the first. I think it's the first console Call of Duty. Just correct me, because I never played Call of Duty until Call of Duty 2 on a 360. But yeah, so it's that one. I'm not sure if it's in the right case. 50p from cash converters. So, and it's got some writing on. I saw it 50p and I thought I'll try it out. But it's what I'm saying. I'd get it in my collection anyway. Next is a very cool game. I'm not sure if I've done this because I've filmed the video twice, so I'm not sure if I've done it on this, but if I'm saying it twice, just forgive me. Need for Speed Underground. I think every person in secondary school when this came out spoke about this and wanted it, especially if you was a partial chav, which I was. But yeah, Need for Speed Underground. It was the Fast and Furious. Not to that way. Does this say anything about internet? No, it's just EA big advertising all the games. And when it's just James Bond was still run by this company, EA. But yeah, it's a really cool game. I played it. It's still got decent graphics and cool music, and I mean, the handling is still better than some of the recent ones. It's a bit more simulator in a weird way. I know it's an arcade game, but it feels a bit more realistic. Next is another game that, you know, is dirt cheap. One of the best games of the generation is Max Payne. What a great game. You can get this cheap, but something I realised, I've got the Classics disc, which I'm a bit pissed off about, so I'll be changing that, just because of the OCD in me. And some of these cases that still need cleaning up a bit. Next is Shell Shock Nam 67. I always wanted this, but reviews put me off. And I've got to say, it is a shite game, but it's by Guerrilla Games. Before they turned pretty good. So yeah, look at that, it's Guerrilla Games on Xbox. Mental, but it's really shit. It's £5 plus as well, and I know that sounds cheap for a collector, but Xbox original games can be 50p to a quid, you know. I'm sure someone just bibbed on purpose. Next, Forza Motorsport. If you're a driving racing car fan, this is amazing. And the thing that set this apart when it first came out against Gran Turismo 4 and 3 was the customization of the cars. Visually, it was really cool. When you crashed, the cars got damaged visually and mechanically, and the sounds were fantastic. You booted up a Subaru in Gran Turismo 4 and it sounded like a hairdryer, but you boot up a Subaru in Forza and it sounds like a Subaru. So the next lot of games, what time are we doing? Oh, we've still got some time, it's fine. Next is my favourite Tony Hawk's game of all time. I'm not sure if this is an original box as well. I can't remember his Xbox games coming in black sometimes, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but anyway. My second favourite Tony Hawk's game of all time, Tony Hawk's 4, Pro Skater 4. There's lots more Tony Hawk's after this, but yeah, it was a great game, some great levels, and great like customization of your decks. There's Tony Hawk himself, when he was still fairly young. He's a bit of an old geezer now. He's a bit older than that compared to everyone else. But yeah, it was a really good Tony Hawk's. If you get into Tony Hawk's and you find Tony Hawk's 2 on PS1 a bit unplayable, I'd say the next best Pro Skater was Tony Hawk's 4 by far. Next is a game that blew me away visually, and I thought, Jesus, that was good. Just the lighting, and that's Splinter Cell. I think everyone who owned the Xbox version of Splinter Cell, it was a trump card against PS2 and GameCube, because this looked vastly different. It just looked like a completely different game, like so much better. It was insane, and yeah, it still looks playable and good to this day. It was a really ahead of its time, a decent Ubisoft game that. Now, one of my favourite races of all time, sadly the studio is gone. It's Project Gotham Racing 2. Look at that, Ferrari Enzo on the front. It's when the Ferrari Enzo first came out, it's how old this game is. It's even got a song today, you know, a few cars. It was a really, really good racing game. This was the first time I experienced Nürburgring in this game, and it was probably vastly different to how it is now in games, but it's the first time I experienced it and I loved it. Next is this is just an amazing game. It's got Far Cry Instincts in it for some reason. Far Cry Instinct, it's got Halo 2 coming soon. Ninja Gaiden, it was an Xbox exclusive. Now, something back then, I'll talk about Rogue Squadron, I'm jumping a bit to a GameCube video, but games back then that looks visually fantastic, but also performed well. So Ninja Gaiden is like a really, really, really good looking game for its time, like a really good. I think it could go all the way up to 480p, I think, which was obviously really good. Its textures were good, it's just graphics were good, but also it ran at a solid, I think, 60 frames per second, like Rogue Squadron on the GameCube. And a lot of the games these days don't, like they come out at 30 frames per second, and it just shows you how good the consoles, how powerful it was for the games that I was making back then. It was really cool. Next is another game, and my friend wants to be playing, he says. Nige. Well, Nige, this is a very rare game that I need to clean up. What the fuck is all that in it? I haven't really looked at that since I got it. Morrowind Game of the Year edition, so it's got all the DLCs. I'm not sure if this version will play on the Xbox One, because I'm not sure if it's the Game of the Year edition that they put on, which will be a big shame because I've got all the DLC. It's a very expensive game to get hold of this for an Xbox original. You're talking £20 plus for it to be complete in good condition, you know, even higher. But it needs to clean up a little bit, some black things in there, but it's fully complete. Morrowind, I played that. It's not my original copy. I think so all these games are my original copies, but I did have Morrowind when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't have Game of the Year edition now, just a normal, so I've never played those DLCs. Next is a Matrix game, and it was the first Matrix game I felt like a badass, and it was Path of Neo, because you actually got to play as a Neo, because I think what was the other one? It was called Enter the Matrix. So you played as that woman, Will Smith's wife, I think. But I think everyone wanted to play as a Neo, really, deep down. In this game you could, and it was a bit of an original story, I believe, as well. I think it was, or did it just go with the... Oh no, it's Relive the Best Matrix trilogy. I'm sure there was some new bits that wasn't in the film now, I'm sure. I haven't played it since 2004, so can't remember. This was the first game I ever played for my Xbox original. I've got it back in my collection, Lord of the Rings. It's not based off the films, it's based off the book, but it came out because the films had come out, if that makes sense. It's really cool, it's a really nice RPG. Would you class it as an RPG or just action adventure? I'm not sure, I haven't played it for a long time. But I remember really enjoying it. So if you're after a nice, like sort of Fable-y game, but set in Lord of the Rings universe, you know, that's fairly cheap to get hold of. Next I'll show you both together because that's how they came. I'm still looking out for the sleeve that originally came with them, Vice City and GTA 3. This is the first time I ever played them both because I didn't have a PS2 at that point in time, so I had to wait until they came out on the Xbox, and I played them in order. Played Gran Turismo 3 first and then Vice City, even though all I was wanting to do was play Vice City, so it kind of ruined GTA 3 for me. I've still got a bit of bad memories about it because I was just wanting to get it done to play this, but GTA 3 is probably a better game overall, but I wanted the 80s, the music and the mopeds. So yeah, I rushed it, but yeah, they're great versions of it. It's better than the PS2 versions. Next, another fairly rare game which isn't complete. I need the instruction manuals for. Panzer Dragoon Auto. It's a really cool Japanese. It's on rails. It's a shooter. It's a really cool game. Visually stunning. It's still really good looking now, and it's 60 frames per second as well. I think it is. It's a really nice, smooth game. So yeah, it's a really good game, but it's not. Sadly, not complete. Find that. This is a really shit game that I never played and wanted to try, and you know, it's just as shit as I thought it would be. And that's a GoldenEye Rogue Agent. You know, it's using a name, but GoldenEye, you know, came out a generation before on lesser hardware. 50 times the game. This is shite. Do not waste your time on it. Next is a game on. Did I play this? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I played this when it first came out because it just looked so cool. I remember seeing it on PC boxes in the game shops and I always wanted to play it, and then a console people got a version with a monster. He turned into a beast, which they shouldn't have done. They should have just kept it as just a shooter, but Crytek and Ubisoft thought just a shooter wouldn't sell on the console, so they had to make it to have a gimmick. It's still a really cool game. It's got an ace story and ace voice acting for its time, and it's still really playable to this day. The original Far Cry. This is another game I didn't play when it first came out. It's not complete, but I got it for 50p. It's Unreal Championship 2. Just a multiplayer shooting game. Shove some bots on it, you'll probably have some good fun. I've never played it, so I can't really comment. Black is a really cool game. Visually stunning for its time. There's a lot of these games. It's a lot of these games on Xbox originally you put in and play to this day, and it's really cool. I've got to finish this video soon because it's nearly done. But yeah, it's fantastic. Black on the. Sorry, my battery ran out for some reason, or something happened just as I got to the last game. But the last game is The Suffering, which I've never played, but I hear people say it's really cool, and that is nice and complete. So I do want to play that at some point, so I will. Thank you very much for watching. Do you have an Xbox collection, or do you want one? Post in the comments and let me know. Tell me how you're doing and how you're coping in this heat if you're from Britain. Yeah, speak to me, just let me know how you're doing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye bye.